Well, good afternoon and welcome to the match of the round in round 13 of the National Premier League's Men's New South Wales. It's Wollongong Wolves against Rockdale Ilinden. The Wolves are one of the form teams of this competition, but their opponents are hard on their tails heading into today's fixture. My name is Tim Gibson. Let's get into the teams. And starting with the Wolves, Daniel Solski is in goal. Number 4, Dylan Ryan. 5 is Banri Kanaizumi. 8, Sebastian Duarte. 10 is Flynn Madden. 11, Sebastian Hernandez. 13, Tate Russell. 16, Lucas Trajsevski. 17 is Marcus Beattie. Number 18 is Kazuya Yamamura. 24, Lachlan Scott. Over to the Rockdale team now, and Levi Kay is the goalkeeper. 2, Hunter Elliott. 3 is Lachlan Griffiths. 4 is Reo Kunemoto. 5 is Giorgio Speranza. 6, Isaac Danzo. 8, Jerry Skatardis. 9, Moody Najjar. 11, Lachlan Constable. 17 is Muhammad Adam. And number 26, Harry van der Sarg. Well, it's a nice afternoon for football here in Berkeley, and it should be a really intriguing clash. These sides both looking towards the finals places at the moment. Wollongong, of course, on a stellar run at the moment, while Ilinden have managed to patch together a reasonably solid run of form over the course of this season so far. As we kick off with our referee Brodie Merchant, the Wolves in the red while Rockdale playing in their white kit. Plenty of travelling Rockdale fans who've made the trip and have been in strong voice in the early moments of this game. The Wolves will be eager to extend this excellent run of form they've found themselves on since that early blip, but their record against Rockdale over the past couple of years isn't fantastic, at least in terms of picking up wins. Their last win against Ilinden came in emphatic fashion, 4-0 result back in 2023. But otherwise, since then, they've had a couple of narrow defeats. 2024 was a 3-1 win for Rockdale in round 12, and round 27, Ilinden edged the game 2-1 as Wollongong find themselves with a free kick on the right-hand side and an opportunity to make an early impression in this game. Madden's delivery, it's headed away confidently. Adam will try to play that out and does well to relieve some of the pressure the visitors are facing. As we get a change of ball. Rockdale still trying to play out, and there's the out ball towards Adam, but Kanaizumi is aware of it. And just to finish on the recent head-to-head results between these teams, they also met in round 5 last year, and the Wolves almost got over the line, but a late equaliser from Ilinden saw the points shared before a 3-1 win for Rockdale at Wynn Stadium later on in the year. So recent results have not favoured the Wolves, but at the moment their form indicates they are the favourites for this one. Very settled possession really as of yet, with both teams battling for some sort of control in the game. Ilinden, well, they're of course going through a bit of a transitioning season for them in terms of personnel, with the departure of Alek Urasevsky, who was an integral part of their attack and also a valuable leader in that group, but they've still made a decent start to this year. Currently sitting in and around those finals places. Recent form though, they've only won 2 of their last 5, but here's Moody Najjar taking on Tate Russell. Russell wins out that duel, but it'll be a throw-in. As we see a nice touch there, and this could be an opportunity on the break for the Wolves, with Duarte finding Trajcevski. Neat interplay, but will be forced to go back. That pass a little loose though, and the Wolves will have a throw in their own half. But as mentioned, with Rockdale still sitting in and around the finals places, 7 wins, but also 5 defeats from 12 games. In fact, they're the only team who hasn't drawn a game yet. Here they come now down the left with Speranza. Back to Kunamoto, who's found Griffiths, trying to clip a ball in towards Speranza, but Tate Russell alert to it again. Now this game, with both teams fighting in the finals places, they're 3 points either way, as we see Najjar into the box, and Mohamed Adam didn't know too much about that effort, but question marks over whether there was a slight deflection to send it for a corner, but in the end it will be a goal kick. As I was saying, Rockdale will go ahead of the Wolves if they win today, and that would push them into the top 4 of this competition, with United 58, who are currently in 3rd position, although they've just kicked off their game against Sydney Olympic. But it's an opportunity to gain ground on the top 3 for both these teams. Bit of a gusting wind as well. No more than a bit of a breeze, but we'll see if that affects the more direct play in this game. At the moment, the wind is going into Rockdale Ilinden as they look to attack. Here's Hunter Elliott, finds Griffiths. Nice pass into Danzo. Adam coming back from an offside position though. Isaac Danzo, who featured for the Wolves in their 2025 Australian Championship campaign, the midfielder. Also, interestingly, scored for Rockdale against Cringilla Lions in the Australian Cup, or the Australia Cup rather, as we see a nice ball over the top for Hernandez to chase into the box. Hernandez got across. Crucial intervention though from Kunamoto, but Trajcevski will retrieve it. And that ball hasn't gone out of play, and Rockdale can try to go the other way. Adam slips, and Kanaizumi will be able to mop it up. Here's Yamamura, tries to play it in behind for Scott, whose progress is halted by Griffiths. Here's Van der Sarg. Nice ball down the line, and cross can go in. Chooses to play it back for Hunter Elliott. Here's Van der Sarg again. Nice rotation to find Constable. Ryan able to clear that. Speranza's header back into the danger area as Hernandez gets back to find Yamamura. Here's Madden. Loses out in midfield though. Van der Sarg. Nice ball played for Moody Najjar, who's sent a fierce effort flying over the bar. Najjar, who bagged a brace in this fixture last season. And in fact scored a brace in his most recent game in the Australia Cup against Fairfield. And that was a good chance for him there, as he sends it over the bar. But represents a good passage of play for Rockdale, who have started to assume a bit more control in this game, which was perhaps lacking in the opening minutes as we go through the 10-minute mark. Najjar. Rockdale still building and would love an early opening goal in this one to give them an advantage at what has been a pretty solid home ground for the Wolves. Not too many defeats in there. Madden can come away with it. Can't find Trajcevski though. Here's Rockdale again, this time down the right side. Constable drifts inside towards Skatardis, who's kept that in. Dunzo finds Hunter Elliott. Skatardis' pass was a little loose, but gets the challenge in. Like Kay gets a touch on the ball, and Rockdale forced to go long. The Wolves happy to concede a little bit here in terms of territory as Beattie makes a good intervention to find Scott into the box. Scott's still going and tries to cut it back. It'll be a corner kick for the Wolves. to get a good delivery in and potentially put the pressure back on Rockdale. Madden goes short for Hernandez. Madden's turn to put in a delivery, and Kanaizumi made good contact, and a deflection could have sent that spinning into the goal. Tate Russell's delivery is deep, and Madden made contact with the header but didn't have the direction to cause any trouble. Skatardis can't bring that one down, and Wollongong can maintain this attack through Tate Russell's throw in. Spun in towards Scott. Still going Scott. Gets a cross in for Madden, and that header is fantastic. Wollongong have the lead. And really, with what's been their only consistent passage of attacking play in the opening quarter of an hour, they've made it count. It was initially Tate Russell's throw in to find Lachlan Scott, who'd peeled wide into the right of the box, and a neat move to skip away to find some space, and an excellent pick out for Madden, whose header was pinpoint into that top left corner, and it's given the Wolves an important lead in this game. And given the couple of good plays that Rockdale had in this game, that will be a bit of a sucker punch. Madden's first goal of the season. He's been a versatile player in that midfield, has at times had to play deeper, but also been able to play in a more advanced role, which has provided the result that the Wolves would have wanted in making that move. It's just seconds before the header that he had off another delivery that ended up bouncing harmlessly, not near the goal, but that one found the net. It'll be a goal kick for the Wolves. It's been a tough run in terms of conceding goals this year for Rockdale. They've conceded more of any team in the top 5 positions. Here's Griffiths. Space now and can pick out Skatardis. That's bounced up off onto him, and we can play on with Van der Sarg. Goes for a curling shot. Didn't quite get hold of it. Certainly capable of scoring from that distance. It's the 19th goal conceded of the year, Rockdale. Contrasting that with the Wolves, who after that heavy 3-0 loss to St George have turned it around in recent weeks. But Hernandez now down the right for Wollongong. Shifts inside, still going, and gets the shot at the outside of the foot, but Levi Kay was able to get hold of that one comfortably. The Wolves, in contrast with their defensive record, just 5 goals conceded in an unbeaten run now lasting 8 games. Results have been tight though. In the 5 victories they've had in that run, all but one have been by a single goal margin. But they've got the lead here, and against United 58 last weekend, the game that ended their undefeated start to the year, 1 goal early on had proved enough. Will it be the same here? Hernandez looking to find a second goal for Wollongong. Into the box and tries to skip around Speranza, but that was quality defending. But the ball after that will fall out on the sideline. And that's been a real useful tactic for the Wolves, is using Sebastian Hernandez's pace and trickery, and it's turned games in their favour over the course of this year. But being able to stop Hernandez gives Rockdale a bit of an edge. That challenge from Trajcevski on Hunter Elliott will be a foul, no doubt about that. And Rockdale choose to keep the play moving as opposed to taking the free kick. Here's Constable. Trajcevski, nice footwork, and tries to carry on. Hunter Elliott's challenge is not on target, but the battling continues as Rockdale get the ball back via a throw-in. Kunamoto plays it for Van der Sarg. Nice cut out though from Dylan Ryan. Trajcevski, who's been getting significantly more minutes this season. He's started 3 of the last 4 games coming into this one. This will be his 4th in his last 5th, and he's featuring as part of a rotated front line for Wollongong this year, which is ensuring they maintain the fitness of their players. Last year they lost both Lachlan Scott and Sebastian Hernandez for long amounts of time, and that hurt them. But BC has managed to skip away from Van der Sarg here. Still going BC under pressure, and will win the free kick. BC, another of those players who's been rotated more than last year, which is ensuring there is a greater degree of freshness in what is not a particularly deep squad, at least in terms of senior players, but plenty of those young players have started to step up and become genuine options in this squad. Speranza, Hernandez battling back. Kanaizumi launches it out for a goal kick. Well, Wollongong with that early lead, and as we get through the midway point of this half, we haven't seen too much from Rockdale in the last few minutes, but very much the side in control of most of the ball. That ball through for Danzo. Neat move inside. Beatty getting back. Yamamura cuts it out. Adam into the box, still going. Clips it in towards Najjar, but Kanaizumi can head it away. Ball in for Najjar. Couldn't make contact with the header really to trouble Solski. It's bounced towards the right touchline. Skatardis battling with Hernandez, who's ended up getting his shirt twisted around, but he's kept the ball. He can find Danzo. Neat ball played in for Najjar. Kanaizumi with another important intervention. Skatardis. Cross in, flicked on by Najjar, but only a cluster of Wolves players on the edge of the box there to receive it. Trajcevski goes long towards Scott. Griffiths under pressure. Scott battling for it. And strong defending from Griffiths against Scott. Van der Sarg fouled. A couple of fouls picked up by Rockdale, just halting their push up the field slightly, but now they are getting into a bit of a rhythm in possession. Hunter Elliott under pressure. Back to Levi Kay, who won't muck around with it and sends it up. Danzo. Neat move from Danzo, and he can stride forwards. Still going Danzo, and the shot flies over the top, which has been the theme of the visitors shooting in this game. Solski yet to be really tested. This breeze is becoming a bit more of a feature of this game. Scott tries to find Hernandez. Speranza with another loose pass. Scott. His pass only finds Harry van der Sarg. Good pass for Constable. Hunter Elliott's made a run down the right and will receive the ball. Early cross in. Adam gets his head to it. Solski forced into a save. Yamamura finds Madden. Scott. Wide for Trajcevski. On for Duarte. His turn to cross. Madden again looking to get on the end of it. Trajcevski battling with Van der Sarg. Danzo. And no foul given there for Rockdale, and Wollongong's turn to come the other way through Madden. stumbling. Eventually, the ball finds Levi Kate. One of a few former Manly players in this Rockdale team. It's become a more physical contest in the last few minutes as Duarte looks to escape down the left. Touch inside, but Rockdale scramble it away. That's a good pass to Trajcevski, tries to pick out Hernandez, and it's taken a deflection. Unfortunate for Rockdale, but Wollongong find themselves 2 up before the half-hour mark. Trajcevski, who's been getting significantly more minutes and has been making greater contributions as well. His cross for Lachlan Scott's winner a few weeks ago, another example of that. But that ball there has found its way into the goal, and Wollongong in a strong position in this game. It was Scott's flick on to Trajcevski, and the deflection off Speranza, who needed to make the intervention given Hernandez wasn't too far away. Scott into the box. Kunamoto, crucial challenge. Kanaizumi passes a little loose, and Muhammad Adam can try to take it away. Back for Speranza. And Asag. Wide for Hunter Elliott. Just again as Rockdale were looking to knit together some decent passages of play in this one, they've conceded again. It's been the tone of both goals. Can Wollongong really take advantage and head into the sheds with a commanding advantage on the scoreline? But they've seen a free kick go against them here. Andasag finds Skatadis. Muhammad Adam, nice move. Goes for a shot, deflection perhaps, at least bouncing in front of Solski, but gets his hands on it. Kanaizumi down the line for Tate Russell. Hernandez. Move away from Najjar. Speranza chasing. Hernandez's pass, can't find his His opposite winger, here's Hunter Elliott though. And Desarg, Danzo. Nice pass to pick out Skatardis, and it is a high pedigree midfield Rockdale have, and they are able to find nice combinations between their midfield players to help them get up the field. There's another one in for Skatardis, but that time Tate Russell comes away with it, and counter-attacking opportunity. Here's Madden, shifts inside, finds Lachlan Scott in the box. Scott goes for a curler, just over the bar. Good opportunity again though for Wollongong. Free kick goes Rockdale's way for the challenge on Hunter Elliott from Sebastian Duarte. Around 10 first half minutes to play, at least of regular time. And attention turns to whether the visitors can find a route back into this game ahead of half time. Elliott's cross is cut out by Dylan Ryan. Duarte up towards Scott. Well held up by Scott, was being held back by Griffiths there. No free kick given though, and that wrestling match will likely continue throughout the course of this game. Almost picks out Speranza. It's Hernandez who will try to sprint away from the fullback. Rockdale taking their time to be patient and try to thread through that dangerous pass. They could find them a goal in this one, which they do need, especially before the break. Cross in, headed away by Dylan Ryan again. Down the right they go. Again, Rockdale, but no path through for them. Will be a goal kick for the Wolves. Trajcevski on for Scott towards Madden, and now Beattie can switch the play towards Hernandez. Tate Russell in for Madden, tries to flick it round the corner for Scott, but it'll be Rockdale's turn to take the ball the other way. Skatardis finds Van der Sarg. Skatardis again for Danzo. This is a nice piece of play to find Najjar. Ball in and just evaded Constable. But that was well worked from Rockdale. Wollongong haven't had too much of the ball in this game, but certainly not since they scored a second. Speranza gets away from Tate Russell, cross in towards the far post over Constable and Trajcevski. Picks up the ball on the other side. Lovely move to take it around Hunter Elliott and picks up the free kick. Hunter Elliott, another of those former Manly United players, the likes of Van der Sarg and also Harry McCarthy. Levi Kay, of course, whose goalkeeping at Manly was some of the best in the competition. Speranza finds Najjar. Kanaizumi wins out against Muhammad Adam, and in the end it'll be a free kick. Russell floats in, but Scott couldn't make contact. Danzo is able to find Griffiths, but this has been the tone of things most of the game. Rockdale with the ball. That time Duarte comes away with it, and another foul from Rockdale. That's a few in the last few minutes. Perhaps a degree of frustration growing into the game for the away side. Trajcevski tries to take it away from Hunter Elliott, but couldn't. Yamamura. Kanemoto plays the direct pass, but Solski grabs it well. Duarte in for a challenge with Hunter Elliott, who's fouled again, and Adam is also fouling. That's a fair few now racking up for Rockdale. This time the Wolves will be able to swing in the free kick. Madden to take with a couple of minutes of regular time to go in this first half. Would be a late statement for sure. Here's Madden's delivery, drilled in and flicked through, and offside flag goes up against Dylan Ryan. It was almost the perfect result for the Wolves, but flag goes up. Tate Russell aware of it to stop Najjar's progress. Madden tries to clip it through for Hernandez. Ball remains with the Wolves. Skatardis in for a battle with BT. Kunamoto wins the header, and Russell will this time play it a bit shorter for Madden. Speranza's touch. BT challenging, as is Tate Russell. Najjar fouls Madden, but play on, at least for a few moments. The free kick to be brought back, and Wollongong will get another chance to whip in a free kick. "30 seconds away from finding out how much additional time there will be in this game." But first, the free kick from Madden. This one deep towards the far post. No one making the run. Dylan Ryan has stayed down, with play immediately stopped. And he will need treatment. As we find out 1 minute of additional time, although that will no doubt be more than that following this injury break. Defence is one area where the Wolves can't afford absences. They've already lost Dylan Ryan for a few games due to suspension, which forced them to reshuffle things. But it looks like he might be able to continue here. We'll to see if the Wolves are forced into a change. Not long left in this first half, though. And Desarg again finding Hunter Elliott. This is good work from Rockdale. The ball, though, short of the near post, allowing Solski to calmly take control of the ball. And Wollongong are back up to 11 on the field. Speranza's header. Tate Russell deals with that well as Kanaizumi finds it for Yamamura. Scott tries to flick on. And it's back to Rockdale's turn for the ball. Nice touch from Constable. Scott clears it away. And that'll be half-time here at Macedonia Park. And it's Wollongong Wolves with a 2-0 lead over Rockdale. We'll be back in a little over 10 minutes' time for the second half. Welcome back for the second half at Macedonia Park. The Wolves leading 2-0 over Rockdale. Goals to Flynn Madden and then an own goal to Giorgio Speranza is what separates the sides. Dylan Ryan under a bit of early pressure there. Van der Sarg still going through Constable. Kanaizumi heads away. BT clears only as far as Danzo goes for a shot. That one off target again. Still struggling to test the keeper in this game. And they had most of the ball, Rockdale, in the first half. Created a couple of good openings, but it was the Wolves who proved the more clinical. Were denied a third by the offside flag against Dylan Ryan, which would have given them a really commanding lead. Griffiths wins out, but Scott will get the ball anyways. Trajcevski finds Duarte. Yamamura towards Hernandez. Tried to volley it into Madden. It'll find Madden now in the box. Skatardis can take it the other way. Scott. Madden now. Madden's still going, but it'll fall the way of Rockdale through Danzo again, and they can look to try and push it over to the left side. Cut out by Tate Russell, and this is a good opportunity for Wollongong. Russell and Yamamura undecided as to who was going to retrieve that ball. Adam working very hard to get back in and making a crucial intervention there as well. Tate Russell has stayed down but is now back to his feet. Constable. Van der Sarg for Constable again. Danzo. Hunter Elliott will have the opportunity to cross towards Adam. Made contact with the header, but perhaps mistimed. Yamamura wide for Hernandez. Chooses to go high up the field. Rockdale are committing more numbers forwards at the start of this half, which they need to do. Ball in behind for Adam, who's flagged offside. For Trajcevski. Crossing isn't bad towards Scott. Well dealt with again by Rockdale as they try to take the ball the other way quickly through Najjar. Behind for Najjar, offside. Been a more direct style from Rockdale, a willingness to get the ball moving, try to find those penetrating passes quicker. Adam chasing it down again. He's been really involved in this game from a Rockdale perspective, willing to work hard and try to get those interceptions and tackles high up the field. A couple of goals for him this year as well. The former Western Sydney Wanderers academy prospect, and most recently played professionally in Libya. Ball in behind for Constable. Nice shift away, but Ryan's headed it. Hunter Elliott, opportunity to cross. Out for Skatardis. Tate Russell wrestling for that one and finds Hernandez, and this is the issue for the away side when they commit numbers forwards. Pace on the break from the Wolves. Hernandez looks to take on Kunamoto into the box. Forced to turn away. Yamamura finds Trajsevski. Rockdale scramble to get players back and do so successfully. And Najjar fouls Scott, and the Wolves will have a set piece. Duarte. That ball bounces harmlessly behind, and it'll be a goal kick. Skatardis. Beatty has won that ball in a good position. Kunamoto is alert to it to try and find Speranza, who's kept it in. Touch from Skatardis. Goes out for a throw-in. Dylan Ryan. Trajsevski. Wide for Duarte. Scott. Nice flick to find Duarte, who cuts it back towards Madden. Yamamura with a shot that Levi Kay is able to hold on to. Adam. Wide for Hunter Elliott. Now here's Griffiths inside for Danzo. Good touch from Adam. Van der Sarg. Switched out towards Najjar. On for Speranza into the box. Solski catches. Van der Sarg. Plays on into the box here as Van der Sarg still with it. Skatardis. And the free kick will go the way of Rockdale on the edge of the box. Good position this, and they've got some players who can stand over this one and can hit the ball. Looks like as well Rockdale are pondering the prospect of changes on the bench. The likes of Ollie Wigan, Brendan Chalakian as well, Harry McCarthy, all good options, but that's all to come after this set piece, rather, with Najjar van der Sarg and also Mohamed Adam standing over it. It is in a dangerous position, this one. It'd be a great time to get back into the game. Here's Adam. It's nodded away by the wall. It's still a chance for Skatardis, who's looked to have run out of room, but kept it in, and Rockdale have a throw. Van der Sarg finds Speranza. On for Skatardis. Griffiths. This could be bad for Rockdale. Danzo's won a crucial challenge. Here's Najjar with an opportunity. Solski comes flying out, gets something on the ball, but the chance is still there for Rockdale. Questions of a handball. Rockdale players crowding the referee after that one, but no penalty decision from the referee. Diffused in the end by referee Brodie Merchant. Skatardis. Cleared by Dylan Ryan. Trajcevski will chase to win it ahead of Kunamoto. He makes a good challenge. Good time to mention as well that Women's Football Week is just around the corner, running from the 8th to the 17th of May. Nationwide celebration of women's football and the great growth that we have seen in that space of the game over the past few years, including boosting participation numbers across all grades. That is particularly apparent in the Illawarra football local scene with the introduction of the Women's Premier League competition over the past few years, which formalised the top women's competition in the region from an association competition to a fully fledged competitive one on par with the men's premiership scene, which has been so successful and is often ranked as one of the best in Australia. Skatardis deemed to have muscled BT off the ball. Madden's free kick. Looping delivery, but can't find a player. Mohamed Adam is fouled. Danzo for Griffiths. And we will see 3 changes from Rockdale, so substantial changes for them. Hunter Elliott is going to come off and Ollie Wigan on. Skatardis and Mohamed Adam, the other players coming off, and Brendan Chalakian will come on as well. Final change, Harry McCarthy coming on. So 3 attacking changes for Rockdale as they look to get back into this game.
And the third substitution there was number 8, Jerry Skadada, making 22, Harry McCarthy.
Brendan Chalakian, who missed the victory against St George City, is back in the side and will wear the captain's armband as well, so that'll be a valuable addition to midfield for the visitors, and given his quality on the ball and also his capacity to really lift this team, it's an important return for them. Chalakian. There's a neat move and tries to pick out Najjar. Nonetheless, a foul. Goes the way of the away side. And they will commit plenty of numbers forwards as well for this one. Van der Sarg standing over it. BT clears it. Trajcevski clears it further, and Hernandez can try to take it away. Speranza's challenge. No free kick awarded for the winger in what's been an ongoing battle between the pair. Ball in behind, and McCarthy can chase it. Running out of room, and in the end couldn't quite get there. Looks as if Danzo will be tasked with sitting a little deeper and allowing those five players ahead of him to, well, 4 players rather ahead of him, to try and create something. McCarthy wide for Speranza. Najjar still there for Moody Najjar. It looked like that was blocked by Chalakian, but it's still on for Rockdale. Wide for Van der Sarg. BT heads it away. Wigan. Nice spin from Wigan and finds Speranza. Opportunity into the box, and they're really going for it now, Rockdale. Plenty of numbers forward. Regular minutes to play of the game, plus whatever additionals, so ample time to at least get into a position where they can ultimately go and get something from the game. Hernandez wins out against Speranza. Madden is away. Trojsevski making the run, but working back is Constable. Madden towards Trojsevski. Trojsevski still going. Finds it wide for Scott. On for Duarte. Opportunity there. Here's Scott in plenty of space. Shanked off the line rather by Danzo, but it was crucial nonetheless. Scott couldn't grab hold of it. If he did, it looked like there'd only be one result, but the scuffed effort gave Danzo a chance to clear it, however unconvincing it may have been. And Wollongong get the corner. And that's been the example over the last few minutes, is Wollongong will have space on the break and ample pace to cause real damage. Set piece from Madden. Deep towards the far post. Kanaizumi heads it, but Chalakian will get a touch. McCarthy. Madden works back from his corner-taking position to head that. Van der Sag, as part of these changes, has been pushed into a right-back position. Chalakian battling with Scott. Chalakian has already shown that he can be a game changer for Rockdale. Just his contribution so far has changed the tone of this game, but will it be enough, given Wollongong will have more space? Free kick the way of the Wolves, and they'll prepare a change of their own, with Masciavecchio set to come on in place of Trojsevski. Masciavecchio, who's one of those players being rotated, particularly in attack. Missed the victory against United 58, but back in the team. A couple of goals this season, and last season he scored against Rockdale in that round 5 clash. Of course, a former Rockdale player himself. Danzo. Kunamoto. Constable finds Speranza, who's been increasingly adventurous from that left-back position. Constable. Bit of invention to find Chalakian. Chalakian on the edge of the box goes for a shot that Solski is able to catch. Scott. Wollongong get the throw in. Funamoto for Danzo. Once more as Chalakian gets on the ball now. Van der Sar. Wigan. Chalakian. Van der Sar. A little loose and Lachlan Scott can step in. Mashivecchio finds Duarte. Duarte still going. Burst his way through a few challenges, but in the end, one too many. Kanaizumi strongly against McCarthy. Van der Sar finds Wigan. Wigan, nice step over. Ryan's clearance will find Madden. Hernandez making a run. Scott also made a run. Levi K will clear it up the field. Hernandez. And behind for Najjar, who's will be flagged offside. Looked to be a touch offside when that ball was played. Well, no goal as of yet for Lachlan Scott, but he's been in fantastic form and of course has the assist for the opener. He was in a bit of a goal drought to start this season, but 4 in his last 5 and 4 in his last 4 league games, so he could extend the run to 5, and with Wollongong getting a bit more space on the break, that could be a potential route forwards. But Najjar has escaped down the left. Tate Russell getting back. Chalakian back to Najjar. Kanaizumi cuts it out and it'll be a corner. Can Chalakian get the delivery right on this one? Almost met Van der Sar at the near post. They'll do it all again though. And that's was a touch from Solski, but he gets the free kick. Could have been a dangerous situation for Wollongong. Scott tries to play it on for Mashivecchio, but it was a little loose, and just a bit of pressure building on the Wolves with Rockdale having so much of the ball and offering a greater attacking intent as well, which with a 2-goal lead may be a little uncomfortable. Scott in for a challenge with Griffiths. Chalakian clipped it in towards Wigan. Lovely touch, and it's a goal. Rockdale find their route back into the game. And it's courtesy of their substitutes. Chalakian's cross for Wigan. And it just gets a little bit more nervy for the Wolves. There's been a degree of flatness to this second half performance from the hosts, and now they find themselves in a tricky position. This is better though, through Masciavecchio. Tries to take on Griffiths. Good challenge from the defender, who's had a physical battle out there with Lachlan Scott. And has managed to keep him relatively contained. And the former Marconi defender. Scott towards Masciavecchio. Chalakian battling for it with Masciavecchio, and free kick goes Rockdale's way. Here's Constable. Konomoto wide for Speranza. Hernandez getting back. That's a loose pass, and Beattie can play it forwards, which he does. Hernandez, good opportunity. 4-on-3 for the Wolves. Hernandez still going. Hernandez and finds Masciavecchio into the box. The touch and perhaps the bobble on the ball took the opportunity away for the Wolves. So there will still be that space on the break for them, but the consequence of that is they'll have to work back in defence to account for the numbers that Rockdale are committing forwards. McCarthy. Danzo for Speranza. Here's Chalakian. McCarthy. Finds Chalakian, who's was onside, and McCarthy's ball, and big chance for Constable. Goes over the bar, but the chances are coming now thick and fast for Ilinden. And they'll prepare another change now, Rockdale. It's going to be Lachlan Griffiths coming off. And Lucas Rybarewski. So more changes for Rockdale. Wigan appears to have dropped into right back with Van der Sarg at centre back to accommodate yet another attacker for Rockdale. So they're certainly not eager to settle for anything in this game, and why not, given how well they've been able to turn the context of this game around. The tone was very much Wollongong looking to see it out, but now Rockdale with all the momentum. Masciavecchio goes in for a challenge with McCarthy. It'll be a Rockdale throw-in, so they'll keep the pressure on, and looks like now Wollongong are preparing a change. It's going to be a corner. Najjar comes across to take this corner. Very deep corner that in the end will come to nothing as goal kicks awarded for the Wolves. And we will see that change. Going to be Flynn Madden coming off. Liam Ball to come on in his place. The scorer of the opening goal today, Flynn Madden, with that excellent header. It'll be Liam Ball to come on and provide some more energy, some fresh energy up there in attacking areas. Couple of goals this season, just the one in first grade, the victory against Blacktown City. Chalakian. Rybarewski with that cross that was blocked. A couple of goals for Rybarewski as well this season. Just the one in first grade, which came in the Australia Cup, the victory over Fairfield. And Asag wins that contest with Scott. And that's a free kick for Rockdale. The pressure continues to mount on the Wolves. There's less than 10 minutes of regular time to play plus additionals, so Rockdale remain in this contest and they'll be eager to find the equalizer from this set piece. Najjar clipped in. Solski gets hands on it and grabs it well. Commanding goalkeeping, which has been a theme of Solski's season. Capacity to claim those aerial balls with confidence, which has given the Wolves a platform to be as defensively solid as they have been this year. Konomoto will have to deal with that under a bit of pressure from the Wollongong front line, who are putting together somewhat of a press. BT shields that away from Danzo. And this is a free kick for Lachlan Scott. Sebastian Duarte taking responsibilities from this free kick with Madden no longer on the field. Headed away. And as far as Masciavecchio with the volley. Well, you remember a few weeks ago from a similar area. Scored a sensational goal. Looked to repeat the trick on that occasion, but wasn't able to. It was at that end as well against Olympic. But here's BT into the box. Constable worked hard and won the ball. Here's Chalakian. Najjar. Flag goes up against Najjar. Long kick from Solski. Van der Sarg heads it. Ball to chase. For Ribereski. Handball goes against Chalakian. And the Wolves win a free kick in a good position. A couple of times now the challenges against Scott have resulted in free kicks. Funamoto earns himself a yellow card for what looked to be dissent. Wollongong will take their time on this. 3 minutes to play plus stoppage time. As the sun starts to drop away at Macedonia Park. This would further extend what's been a phenomenal run of results. Russell's delivery straight to Kay, who spilt it, but grabs it in the end. The Wolves have a couple of away trips after this one, but first here's Liam Ball, cross in for Mashivecchio. That ball is going to stay in on the left side. Duarte. Back to Mashivecchio. And Chalakian fouls the winger. And as I was saying, a couple of away games now for the Wolves, with Manly on the 16th next Saturday, which will be a long trip for them. Or rather, it's Western Sydney Wanderers up first at the Wanderers Football Park, and then the week after Manly. So a couple of trips for the Wolves to navigate as they look to continue their unbeaten run of form, but they've still got to get through this game, and Yamamura looking to seal it with the free kick. Deflection off Chalakian, and it was kept in, at least to prevent the corner. As for Rockdale, they've got Sydney FC next Sunday, and then UNSW away the week after. So some more important games in this battle for finals football. But there's still life left in this one as we tick into stoppage time, of which there will be at least some minutes added on. In fact, 5 additional minutes here, so that'll be a boost to Rockdale as they look to find an equaliser and then potentially a winner in what remains. That initial burst of momentum they had following the substitutions with the goal has subsided rather in the past few minutes. Ball challenging for the ball with Wigan, and he will be rewarded with possession. Scott shifts inside. Lachlan Scott goes for a shot. Just over. Would have been some finish. Lovely turn and move to create the space for the effort, but it's flown just over. And that would have sealed it for the Wolves, but now it can be Rockdale to come down the other end. Shalakian in for a challenge with Beattie. Ball having to work back. Rockdale, can they create anything? Shalakian gets a shot in a jar. Has rammed it in. And Rockdale have found the equaliser. Big moment for them as it's been hard work to get back into it. But just as that chance for Scott flew over the bar, they've found their route back into the game through Najjar, and well, there's still a couple of minutes to go. Could they complete a remarkable turnaround here? Scott, Duarte. Ball can keep going. Masciavecchio goes for a shot. It goes wide. It was good work as well from Lucas Ribereski down the left to get the initial ball in, and then Najjar was sharp with the finish. Has a good record against Wollongong, which he's added to this afternoon. Chances still on the break. Ball wide for Yamamura. Masciavecchio making the run. Van der Sarg has gone through the midfielder, but it'll be a corner. Is Masciavecchio. Shot of the near post, Yamamura flicks it on. Header from another Wolves player, but in the end, Kay gets hold of it. Long ball forwards. Tate Russell has to deal with it and nods it back calmly to Solski. Less than a minute of this game remaining, and the draw doesn't seem to be a likely result at this stage. Well, at least there's still time for a winner, and with the end-to-end nature of this game, you can't rule it out. Is McCarthy. Shalakian. It's changed the game for Rockdale since he's come on. Constable. Kanaizumi shields it behind. But that could be it. For the Wolves, both these sides might have to settle for a point, even though their endeavours have been in pursuit of a victory. BT towards Scott. Ryan's header. Najjar nudges Duarte in the back, but will play on. Nice move from Constable, but Duarte's won it. Forwards for Scott. Wollongong, one last flurry forwards. Chalakian's challenge was a good one. BT's header towards Masciavecchio. Challenge with Wigan, and it'll be a free kick for the Wolves. Maybe one last chance to deliver this ball in. And the Wolves are committing all but 2 players into the box. Can they restore their advantage? Masciavecchio floated up. Kanaizumi wins the initial contact, but in the end, it's 2-2 between the Wolves and Rockdale. The visitors fighting back from 2 goals down to claim a point here at Macedonia Park. My name is Tim Gibson. Thank you for tuning in.